So we finally got our iPads. That's great news. But do you know how to use them? Don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know so that you can use it efficiently, effectively, but most importantly, responsibly. Okay, a couple things real quick about these iPads and how they work. Always have a cover on your iPad. Always have a password and locked when you're not using them. And the most importantly, they are tools, not toys. So please make sure that you are using them for schoolwork, whether it's here at school or at home, because even at home you will be able to connect to the internet via Sprint. So the internet access is not going to be an issue. So please make sure that you are using it as responsible young women that you are. Okay, the other thing I want to make sure that you are aware of is that all the information on here can be tracked. So please be aware that whatever you want to send out actually is from you. So that's why you don't want to share your password and you don't want to leave it unlocked.
Okay, so where do you find these apps? You know, we took a look at a couple of them there, but how do you find something like iMovie or all the Google apps and so forth? Well, it's pretty easy. You just need to go to the App Store. So let's take a look.
Okay, back again. Now let's take a look at the App Store. That is where we would find all of the different types of apps that are available. So if you wanted to find, as an example, let's type in Word for Microsoft Word. Let's take a look and see what comes up. Well, these are all apps that are made for the iPad or even iPhones. Many of the iPhones are strong enough and capable enough to run all of these as well. So if we see, we have Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. All of those are available for your iPad usage. So you would have to just click on the Get button. It will tell you to install. And if you do not have, if you have not signed in yet, it will ask you for your existing user Apple ID, or if you needed to create one. So you will all be furnished with an Apple ID, which is going to be your school ID for the school.
Who left this here? Okay, so we've looked at apps and we talked about apps. I showed you how to get apps. That's great. But there's a couple other things for safety that we want to deal with. One, password. Very, very important. We already talked about that. Two is also your location services. So let's figure out how to be safe with our location services.
Okay, so let's talk about location services. First thing that we're going to do is go into the settings app right there. And we can see, once again, as we saw before, all this information. But now we're going to go into privacy. So if we go into privacy, you see all of these different apps that have the ability to share your location. Yes, I know that these are a little bit of the older apps, but you see Twitter and Facebook there. Whether it's Snapchat or Instagram, any of these apps, you have the ability actually to share your location of wherever you take pictures as well. And that's very, very important to remember, because if you are taking a picture, that there is something called metadata, and that metadata has your location, and it's latitude and longitude. So if we take a quick look, I don't think I have any pictures in here that have that. Whoop, let's see. Well, there's a picture, but there is no metadata in there because I did not have my location services on. But it's very, very important to remember that when you're sharing pictures, that you erase or just do not have the metadata on there. And how do you do that? Well, we go ahead and click on location services, and then we just go ahead and just turn that off. We're not going to have that on. This also should be done in any of the apps that you might have. For these particular apps, you're not going to have Snapchat or Facebook or anything like that on here, but for your phone and other things, you definitely want to make sure that the location services is off on all of your apps so that people aren't tracking you. Some of these apps actually track you.
Oh, there you are. Okay, so we talked a lot about these iPads, but things you have to remember. You have to always have an iPad cover. You always have to lock your iPad when you're not around. And most importantly, you need to treat it like the tool it is, because it's definitely not a toy. So make sure you take care of it. If you have any questions, come and see me in room 208, send me an email, whatever the case, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. So for now, take care of that iPad. It's that tool you need.